stream into the channel, but you're good. Do it.
5, 3, 2, 1. Let's start the timer now. Oh, we're in it now.
Yeah. What up? What up? What up? What's up, everybody?
You messed me up my whole intro. I was doing that part. You got to get a more emphasis, man. Got to pump it up the crowd. What up? What up? What up, world? We're here. Get back again. Get Right Fantasy Network. We got a live mock draft tonight for the Tournament of Champions. Mike, give them all the info.
Hey. Yeah, so we got we're going to be doing satellite mocks during next week, Monday through Thursday. We're going to pick the top 3 guys from that, and from there you're going to be able to get a chance to mock on Friday night like we are right now. And then we're going to be trying to get you guys into a spot in the Lister League and things like that. So let's get this thing started. Everyone's in the draft waiting.
Yeah, everybody's waiting. I'm trying to get the Chrome tab ready so that I could share this one. And that's the one. Give me a second. And adjust the screen. Bam. We're good to go.
All right, everybody.
We're going to start the draft. We should be able to get going here.
Let's go.
Got some people in the chat. Got some people coming up. Mock it up.
Yo, what's going on, Shane?
We got some John.
What's up, Josh?
Josh, here, mock it up here.
Oh, no.
Let's do it.
Come on, Al Duncan.
Anthony's on here as well. What we got? What's the first pick going on here?
We got Christian McCaffrey.
Now this is a redraft, right? We're doing a redraft.
Yep.
One QB.
One QB redraft. Yep.
All right. So we should see a lot of running backs fly off the board right off the bat. Should wait for your QB, or just obviously if you need to get Mahomes early, do what you got to do. We got the football coming up. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm waiting for the season to get ready to go. I mean, we're what, like 2 weeks away from a preseason right now. So I'm ready to make that happen, man.
Steelers and Cowboys.
Should be an exciting game, man.
Hell yeah.
And then the first game of the season, we're playing against the defending champs.
Oh, lucky you guys.
Anthony sent me a bunch of stuff. Oh, yeah. Now we got a bunch of wow. Devante Adams taken first round.
Mm-hmm.
Right after Nick Chubb. How do you feel about that? You like taking quarterbacks like that early?
I'm not big on wide receivers. I'm not big on wide receivers early at the first round. I'd rather have the wide receiver in the second round if possible, because especially what I've seen with mocks lately, you're getting guys you're getting all the running backs literally in the first 12 picks. The first 12 are off the board. So you're pretty much at a point where you either have to go 2 running backs or you have to feel like you're doing a 0 running back. And if you're doing that, it's not a true 0 running back, because you're going to end up, 4th round going, oh crap, I need to change my change my strategy. So it's one of those things where you really need to stick with what, your convictions, and stay with that running back if possible. If you go if you're going with the wide receiver twice, then you're going to get to a point where you're going to have nobody, and you're left with, guys like, I don't know, you're left with guys like Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, James Robinson. If you want those guys as your RB1, then that's fine, and hopefully that works. But for now, I would really rather have something where I'm having like a Alvin Kamara with who else is on here? Alvin Kamara with like Chris Carson or David Montgomery, or any combination of those things, compared to having 2 elite receivers, especially with 2, this particular league for the starting spot is 2 receivers. So if it was a 3 receiver league, I would be a little bit more willing to take a wide receiver in the beginning. But since it's only 2, I would only be going, with the 2 running backs.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that because I've tried that strategy before. I'm not a fan of the zero RB strategy. I just get kind of stressed out about not having running backs. Although the wide receivers do come up with the points, they do kill it. I mean, I remember Anthony one year. I think he went 6 straight wide receivers. But he's a trade guy. You know what I mean? So he's always trying to. So he's definitely doing zero. You got Devante Adams and Tyreek Hill. So obviously with the news of Rodgers possibly coming back, Adams and everybody on that team, and including Robert Tonyan and everybody who's involved in Green Bay, is getting that step up, thumbs up. Everything's going to be fine over there. I still want to see him sign and start playing. I'm not sold on that whole idea. It sounds like it's happening.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
think it's going to happen? Think it's going to go down?
Yeah. Oh, he just wait for who?
Oh, he just did. He did. He's for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Rodgers already signed.
If I take him over Tyreek.
Yeah, I mean,
he did. He's gonna play. Okay, so good.
Oh yeah, he's playing. Yeah, I agree with Shane there. I just traded for Jonathan Taylor, and I'm a little scared about it now with Wentz out. And to be fair, even with Wentz there, I was a little up and down. We have one auto drafter, unfortunately.
It's a new name. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
All these guys are brand new guys. So shout out to everybody that's in here tonight. Ron Parker, PC123, who's actually
hopefully he just got a phone call or something and can come back in.
Hopefully. But we have
which one is that?
PC123. No, Al Duncan. He's the one that's currently autoing.
Oh, okay.
But we got PC123.
Oh, he's not the one at the concert though, right?
No, PC123 is at the concert. He's currently at a ZZ Top concert. So enjoy that, bro. That sounds like, a load of fun.
Nice.
You got Clay TBD, Dune Buggy, That Stank, Y'all Let's Go, Mad Matty E. We got Shane. We got
Rams fan.
Oh yeah. We got a Shane Mackey and Barking
Schmanky.
Browns and Nye. Yeah, you know what? I'm bad with those. I'm just, I've met all these guys recently. They all seem to be really. Oh, Nee, right? Did I get his name wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all good.
But I met
Dustin's never got it
right. I'm just glad to get all these guys in. I'm really happy to meet you guys. I hope everyone likes what we've been doing. Definitely subscribe and like the channel. I really enjoyed, talking with a few of these guys about things, and I just hope we can, keep you guys going, and you guys can stay with us for, the time being. So definitely check us out. So far, so good. I like what I see on the board. Anything sticking out to you that you see already?
Just seeing that, now it's a run of tight ends. You got the Kittle and the Waller going right after Kels. I'm not sure. He's calling it a steal for taking Kels there. I think that's the right spot. Personally, I wouldn't take him in my first round. So I think if you're going to take a Kelsey, I would take him, or Kels in the second round. Personally, other people are more comfortable with them in the first round. I'm a running back guy in my first round if I could get him. If not, if I'm at the tail end of this, like where Joe Mixon was taken and whatnot, that's where I would have took, Tyreek Hill or somebody like that, because I just, I think that Hill is going to score you more points fantasy wise at the end. And then I'd definitely have to come back for a running back and kind of do that whole running back, wide receiver, running back, wide receiver type flip flop in the draft, depending on how it's falling. But I like to stick with, do the traditional 2 running back, 2 wide receivers, and then fill out the team from there, see what's going on. But these guys are coming up. I mean, these tight ends are, it's a thing now. You know what I mean? And they scored a lot of points, and I don't know if I'm not comfortable with them yet. I'll stream a tight end all day. Like, it's not somewhere where I'm putting a lot of money into it. You know what I mean? Like, that's not somewhere I'm banking to, have my team.
Yeah, no, the only thing that I've seen on this whole thing, I mean, if we're going to talk about tight ends, I mean, I'm if you can get one of those guys
Shout
in the
out to the
second
Shark
round and
Dad.
on, awkward Shark Dad, how you doing, bro? My thing with tight ends, man, I have no problem with them. I love picking up those guys that are much later. I mean, you guys know how big I am on Troutman. I like guys that are near the end, like Blake Jarwin and who else? I'm big on guys like Higbee and Everett, Jared Cook, all those guys that are in these particular
I was big on
scenarios.
Goddard, but he just got hurt recently, or that they're talking about Zach Ertz not leaving, and Goddard I think stock is going down if Zach Ertz doesn't leave.
And that's what I keep trying to explain to people. And anytime that I've done any type of mock the last few months, he's going undrafted, and that makes no sense to me. I sit there and I go, Zach Ertz is a starting tight end that has been been drafted in in other years in the spots where Kelsey and Kittle are going. And I understand he had a really tough year at the end of the year. I don't, I understand why people don't want to draft him, but at the same time, he's still, he's in his 30s. He's at that point where he can still do something. If Hertz needs an outlet, he's going to go to a tight end. So in my eyes, I feel like he's still a viable person. Granted, I personally
there it is. Mahomes off the board. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. No, that's not a bad place to get him either. I would probably have waited, but that's
yeah. I just want to point that out. I just was curious when he was going to come off the board. That's the one guy I was kind of like, okay, when's the first QB? Obviously, Mahomes coming off the board. We're looking at the 4th round. That's actually pretty late. Like a lot. I think they have average ADPs in the 3rd round right now.
Yeah, so he's getting them for a steal guy, right there.
You're doing all right if you got him there. That's a steal.
I agree.
A steal on that. Anyways, go ahead, keep going. Oh, look,
no, and
so yeah, that'll
Oh, I love. Well, that's
start the QB run on some of these guys.
Possibly. I mean,
okay.
And we're sorry about the auto here. We've been trying to get Al Duncan back. Hopefully, we can get him back in here. But either way, with tight end, I just prefer those later guys. I love having Kittle if I have him. I love having Waller. I love having Kelsey. I mean, the news with Kelsey, with him being hurt, I mean, it's the beginning of training camp. So let's not overblow the concept that he's, feeling a little sore coming back for his first few days of mini camp or for training camp and stuff like that. So I would give these guys a little bit of credit. I mean, when you see the things like Carson Wentz with the whole injury, he's not going to be missing the whole season, but he might be missing a few games. So definitely keep your eye on that. But when you see things like general soreness and, like with Dak with his shoulder and stuff like that, I would just keep an eye on it.
Some stuff going on.
Yeah, you're coming back. I mean, Dak hasn't played since week 5 of last year. He's going to be a little sore. Like, give him a chance to, ease himself in, and he should be fine. In this case, we'll see. But either way, I love going tight end later. I think there's more value with tight end. I'm actually going to point out the concept that I'm glad that Pitts isn't going 4th off the board here. I've seen him being 3rd or 3rd or 2nd off the board when it comes to redraft. So I'm really glad to see him not be there, because if you're drafting Pitts at his,
and I do want to really quick go back to what Shane here said. Tight end is such a different difference between the few guys at the top and the rest of them, and that is very true.
Yeah.
However,
I agree.
I feel more comfortable with the rest of them.
Yeah,
there is a big gap between the top 3 and then the rest of them, and maybe even the new guy here. I can't even think of his name right now.
Kyle Pitts.
The new tight end. Kyle Pitts. Maybe he could get into that upper echelon. I mean, they call him the second coming now. It seems like there's so much hype around the guy, and hopefully he does play well and he pans out, because the NFL is different than college, and a lot of guys just don't make it in the NFL. They look great in college, but I mean, it's like a wah once they get to the NFL. So let's make sure he makes it happen. With that being said, I do agree that it wins championships if you get the right guys at the right positions. Maybe I'm just not good at drafting, I'll be honest. But then again, I have my championships under my belt, and I'm just more comfortable with taking. There he goes now. Here we go. There's a whole run of 3 of them right there in that 5th right here. So And maybe that's probably a good spot for him. I think, I would take him after Andrews and things like that. If that's what's available after these guys, why not? He's already got, 3 running backs and a wide receiver. That's basically your next wide receiver. Hopefully he can get another wide receiver after that to, shore up his team there. And obviously he knows that, should be aware of that. But I want to go real quick because there's a lot of chatter going on. Let me get into some of these. They're asking about thoughts on Travis Etienne this year. What do you got on him?
Oh, and Shane right there.
Injury
Shane is
out
actually
up to Urtz. Yeah, definitely.
Shane is Shane Haldo. He's in our mock draft right now. So he's in there. And
I love Etienne in PPR this year.
Yeah, I like him in PPR. Anything less than it
it's going to be a split. Tough. You got to.
I agree.
Said I stole the homie. Yes, you did. I just want to catch up with some of these rookie RBs and PPR are going to be a great value. Yes and no. Yeah, I think so. It depends on where they're going. Are they going into this whole running back by committee, or are they going to be Najee Harris and have the floor to themselves? I like the Najee. I really want to get him on my team if I can this year. I'm sold on him. I think that he has everything to gain. Everything's in place for him to have a great season, and that's a top pick for me as far as that's concerned. And
wow,
Dak and CD stock back up. Yeah, the stack complete. He's got the stack. So
he's got that.
Pay attention to that. Where's he at?
No, that's a good stack.
Cooper, yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Cooper is not drafted yet. I don't think. I think the new. Oh, there he is. I see him.
I think he got the best steal too. Taking Dak right where he got him at. I personally, I'm projecting him to be in the top 3 this year, maybe in top 1. And I know everybody's tooting Mahomes and things like that, but I see big things. The numbers he had going in last year were ridiculous, and if he has anything close to that this year, you're looking at a QB1 for the whole season. I think you're killing it where you got him at.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's a steal. I mean,
still need a QB in the for the first 4 weeks.
I'm a little hesitant.
Taking him, yeah. That's very true.
I'm just a little hesitant with. There he is. Yes, man. We appreciate your support, Shane. Honestly, it's great to have you in here, and you're drafting a great team from what I see. I'm a little hesitant with Lamb being your wide receiver 1, but. Godwin in there too. You can't go wrong. There's definitely a lot of depth at.
He'll be. I know you're not. Win. I'll take him like that.
I know you're not.
I'm considering taking him over Cooper. I'm considering. I don't know why Cooper's fallen so much. I don't know if there's hate on him.
Oh, it's his injury.
A little bit of injuries. Maybe he's getting the injury. But I think he should be fine. He played through injuries last year, and he's obviously had a good connection with Dak. As soon as he got there, it was night and day from when he was on the Raiders. It was like, it was like, where did this guy come from, right? All of a sudden, he was scoring all kinds of points and everything else. He looked like the Cooper he should have been with the Raiders, but it didn't happen over there. So now he was getting it over here. So I really like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when he came over, I traded for him because I was very impressed with how him and Dak interacted with one another. I have him in my dynasty league. I have him in Michael Gallup, who I think is actually being underappreciated. He's being drafted almost. I see him going in like the 11th, 12th round in most drafts, or like that last pick, and I'm sitting there like he's the wide receiver too, and he's in a contract year. I feel like he's gonna have a little bit more at stake this year and want to be that guy. So I honestly think that he's being disrespected in that case. But I think he's one of the most talented receivers on that team. But they're all talented. Honestly, you guys have a stacked team. Yeah. Being a Giants fan, I hate saying it,
but having Cooper hurt or whatever, or if he has a lingering injury this year, then that does lend to CeeDee Lamb being the WR1 and moving Gallup as the WR2, and they're moving around in the positions. I hear that CeeDee Lamb's going to be moved all over the field. So that's good for him to be, in the slot or the wide out or the deep, and getting those positions. But I also wanted to really quick review on the draft. We got Aaron Rodgers off the board now on the 7th.
Wow.
Let's see what he does. I mean, last year he was killing it. Obviously, MVP status numbers. So that's a really good spot, I think, to take him. Justin Herbert after that. These guys are drafting pretty good here, honestly.
Yeah,
pretty interesting teams going on.
You guys are going to have a really rough time on Monday with grading these. I think these are some of the best teams I've seen that we've had. I've been doing mocks with you guys since June, and this is something.
Right.
I mean,
you
guys are actually you guys are coming out and putting on a show tonight. So I'm really impressed with these particular teams. Even the auto team that's actually even if they have Michael Thomas as their wide receiver too, at least he's on the bench. And oh hey, what up, them boys? How you doing, man?
Shout out to them boys real quick. He made it. Good shit, bro.
But either way, everything everyone's
I'll try to
drafting
keep the
real well.
to a minimum. I'm not drinking tonight.
Oh,
go ahead. Just keep talking over me, and I'm just dropping the knowledge every once in a while. Oh, did you?
Brother?
I was holding off to drink until after I get done with this thing. I try to be,
you do your thing, bro. For me, it's nice to have.
My liver's taking some hits lately.
Hey man, I'm having some from a good friend of mine. I'm not trying to plug him here, but my buddy from Long Island, he makes a great IPA, and I really appreciate him. If anyone's out on Long Island and you're all the way out in Eastern Long Island, check out Norfolk Brewery. Great place. Honestly, they're a
okay. I was going to ask you, is it a home brewery or just go ahead and shoot out his name? You know what I mean? Like, we don't mind. It's all good, man. It's all love.
Yeah, man. Pete does a wonderful job out there. He's an awesome guy. I've known him since high school, and it's a great little spot. So if you're ever out here, definitely check him out. So far, I don't see anything outside the normal that I wouldn't be, up in arms about. I like how everything's going. I like how Pitts, went a little bit later. I think that if you're drafting him any sooner than like for me, the 6th round or 7th round, you're not getting the value for him. If you're drafting him at his ceiling, you're not going to get any return. Since 2020, since 2000, a tight end drafted in the first round of the NFL draft has not been a top 5 tight end other than Evan Ingram. So you don't want to put all your money in that.
Here's Yella took Robert Tonyan.
Oh, I like it. I like Tonyan.
Right,
I know Justin.
Keep going. No, keep going. I'm just throwing that out there because
the Rodgers news. Yeah, no, I get it. With I know Dustin isn't big. I know Dustin isn't big on Tonyan, but to be honest, with Rodgers coming back, I'm a lot higher on him. If Rodgers wasn't there, I would still be a little bit in between on him. I like him either way because I understand he had a couple of big games, and you can't say that if you take out that big game, he would be this. He would still be in the top 10. So I really think
I agree with you. They had a really good connection towards the end of the year, and I think that's going to carry on to this year now that he's back. I think I would take him there where he's taking him now in the 8th, maybe even wait one more round. Just because again, he's going to be a streamer. To me, he's still not obviously the top 3 that we were talking about earlier, like Kels, Waller, and Kittle, bringing in Andrews and Hawkinson, and Pitts bringing in the back end half of that. Any beyond below that, you're streaming or hopefully get 2 guys to help you with your lineup. But he might be the guy that you could keep rolling with every week. Who do you see on this so far? Just a real quick recap. Just looking across the board, whose team you liking the best?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. That's a good question. No, man. I mean,
that's how we do it, man. You gotta think quick.
Honestly, I know that we were talking about this before, and we brought up the concept of not drafting, the running backs early. And I think in some drafts, it's based on your particular way that you draft. I mean, I was just talking with a guy before. Yeah. I'll reach out to him and see if he wants to do that. I saw Anthony's thing.
Well, mock draft for free beer. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey,
I
man.
will too, bro.
I got
keep going, man. Sorry, just keep going with your.
No, you're good. Right now, like we were saying, I was talking with a guy before that did one of our drafts with us, and not sure if I can draft a Colt. Yeah, I can agree with what Shane's saying. Yeah, I like Jacob Easton, but not that much. When I was talking to a guy later this afternoon, and he was arguing his team for having a really stacked roster with guys like Devante Adams, Tyreek Hill, George Kittle, and Patrick Mahomes as his first 4 picks. But when I look at this roster, and if I look at the team that's being created in this case, I like y'all's let go. I mean, I like that he has Montgomery as his RB1. He actually got one of the last guys in that particular tier of RB1s. I like having Darrell Henderson
singular
there.
RB1s, sharing the ball.
Exactly. He's going to be getting those 20 touches a game. Henderson in his spot getting that type of touches. I like having Deontay Johnson.
So are you happy with Henderson there? That means that you're good. You're comfortable with Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we know Akers went down. He's the next man up. You're not worried that they're going to bring somebody in to replace, or he's up with Henderson. I mean, AP's still out there. There's a couple of guys that are still, in free, veteran running backs available.
No, I honestly
you're not worried about that.
I'm not worried about that right now. They've been pushing Xavier Jones when they've been talking about things, and they like him. Right now, the way that I looked at the draft, he had Jacobs go before him. He had ETN before that. He also, the only person that I am a little bit in between on when it came to that particular pick would have been Gaskins or Mike Davis. But I like the Henderson pick. He's in a good, high-powered offense. You can't go wrong in that. With Sean McVay, he's more than capable of highlighting a guy like Henderson. And I'm not against that particular pick. Going with Trey Sherman later. I like him and how they're talking him up. Picking up Gout. Listen to me, like I said before, picking him up late. That's a great value. No, I like Gus Edwards.
These guys are on it too. Have you noticed this? These guys are like bam, 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 bam.
Oh no, this is quick. We're 27 minutes in, and usually this goes for about an hour before it even ends. So these guys have been really
We're gonna get that much out of these guys. It's like, yeah, for sure.
Hey man, but at the same time, I like his team. I like Gus Edwards. I'm a little higher on him than most people. I know that I talked to Ann about this before. How he says he's the RB3 on his team, and he's right. You have Lamar Jackson running for 1,000 yards every year, and then you have J.K. Dobbins fighting for that spot too. I think that they run the ball enough that he will get enough production that he is still a viable low end RB2 that you can use and plug in when you need him, and he'll get you that value. So I really like the way that his team is looking right now. Another team that I could probably point out is Clay TBD. I'm liking the structure with it. I like Kamara.
Man, I was just about to say that was going to be my guy. Yeah.
All right. Well, then
you stole my thunder on that. Yeah. Kamara, Carson. I mean, the way he just drafting right here, taking 2 RBs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, filling out the core of his team, and then he ends up with Rodgers, who just came back. That's pretty solid. You know what I mean? I would be, kind of worried facing this guy. Still backing up with Singletary and Phillip Lindsay, getting his depth going. Brandon Cooks, I'm not sure what's going to happen with him over there in Houston, or who's quarterbacking over there. That situation's still nasty. People are still like, he's going to play. He's going to get traded, and all that kind of stuff. He just took Deshaun by accident, or was that an auto pick? He just went on auto play.
It was an auto pick.
We were just talking about you, and you just went on auto. No, he's got a D for Deshaun. No,
No, come
taking it
on
that late
now.
doesn't matter to me. He's already got Aaron Rodgers. Honestly, he already got Aaron Rodgers, obviously, so that's going to be his starter all year long. I don't think he's going to ever use Watson except for a bye if he actually playing by the time he needs him for a bye. So why worry about it? You know what I mean? Like some of these
His
guys that are taking him so high early in the first 4 or 5 rounds, even 6 or 7, I think it's too high for him. There's too many question marks for him still. So, yeah, I know he's a good quarterback and all, but now he's going to go to a new team with a new system with new wide receivers. I don't think he's just going to have the immediate success wherever he goes. There was a reason he was doing so good over there in Houston because the D Hop's over there as well. He's got a elite wide receiver. Let's see where he goes and who's with him wherever he goes. To me that's just what I feel about Watson. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I need to
I'm not
see
against
that he's
that.
actually going to play and where he's going to play and what it's going to do before, you know.
Yeah, I mean he's a top.
But
If you take away all the legal aspect of Watson, he's a top quarterback. He's a top 5 guy. Oh, yeah, there you go, Den Boys. Yeah, I like his team too. The other team that I was going to point out as well, but I'll finish my Watson point. I think that he's still a top 5 guy. I still think he has the ability to do well in this league in general. His legal stuff is going to make it where he becomes very hard to deal with in a lot of aspects. I mean, he's running with the third team. He's, I know what he's doing. He's doing what Melvin Ingram did. Hey Clay, thanks for joining, man. You've been doing great here. Honestly, I'm glad that you've been a part of this.
Yeah, he got as far as we needed to be, honestly.
Yeah, and I think that he's going to do well, and his options, even if the options around him, Cooks, David Johnson, Philip Lindsay, now that they got rid of Randall Cobb and having Anthony Miller, I'm all on board right there. I mean, those guys have been doing fantastic. I think they're going to do fantastic where they are. And on top of that, I mean, I'm really big on Brandon Cooks. I think that he's a low option that people are, not that are basically forgetting about. Say that again.
Yeah, he's basically a sleeper this year.
Oh, for me, yeah, he's one of the guys that
you know what I mean. But they're really drafting him so late, if at all.
Yeah, I mean he's been in the league for 7 years. I mean, he knows what he's doing. He was drafted for high capital anywhere he went. He was always given a big contract. I mean, he's worth what he was anywhere, even when he was in New Orleans and when he went to the Patriots. I mean, he's definitely worth what he is. Another team that I really like that I've seen so far is PC123. I'm loving the team and his construction. You got two sophomore receivers that did phenomenal last year. They were right one after the other. You had Dalvin Cook and Gaskin there with Mostert and Kyle Murray, who is one of those top 3 QBs this year. I love Robbie Anderson as a late round pick. His ADP keeps going up like crazy, and it's scaring me. It makes me feel like I'm going to have to draft him way earlier if I want him. I'm loving the Antonio Brown pick. The Elijah Moore pick, I'm a little off on. I keep seeing reports he's running with the third string. Will Fuller dropping all the way to the 11th is insane to me. I've seen him going a lot earlier, and that's fantastic. I'm a little low on Jonnu Smith as your 1 at tight end. I know he's only the rare option over there, but I'm not really high if Cam Newton's the QB. He threw for 2,000 yards, less or around 2,000, I think 2,500 yards last year, and I think the tight end on his team was tight end 50 or less. I think he wasn't even a top 50 tight end in fantasy. So, and they had tight ends on the field. It's not like they didn't have a tight end on the field. So he's either A, inaccurate, B, he doesn't like to throw, and he ran for a crazy amount. So when you have more rushing touchdowns than you do passing, and then you have almost more, you're not going to get 2,000 yards rushing. But, if you're running the ball more than you're trying to throw it, I don't see the receiving options in New England as being, viable. I like guys like Jacoby Myers, who he had a connection with. They did very well together last year. But beyond that, and them getting Nelson Aguilar and Hunter Henry and stuff like that. I don't see what's there. But either way, I like the Jarwin pick after the fact. At least you have someone that's in a good high-powered offense that will get the touches. But I like his team. I really like what PC 123 is doing. I like Clay's team. I like all these teams. But the ones that we've talked about, I've really,
wow. And they're done.
Yeah,
that was like quick.
Yeah. I've never seen one done that quickly.
Joke.
And
we need to add more spots.
No, you know why? I put it at 30 seconds compared to a minute, and it was only because we're not in it. Normally a minute when we're in it, because we like to talk about it as we go, and we'll draft a little bit.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Let's go
I really appreciate
seconds.
everyone coming out. Yeah, no,
we can still keep talking, man. Else? We don't need to shut it down.
No,
I wanted to mention some things. Yeah, we got Fitzpatrick as the last pick. I wanted to see Matt E here takes Jalen Hurst, and then Kirk Cousins is last, takes Irv Smith and Logan Thomas, who I really have is, I think in some of these, how would I put it? I wouldn't call him a breakout, but somebody's going to have a decent season this year. And having both of them on your team, you can kind of stream one or the other that are going to have a pretty decent season. And some of because he didn't draft anybody. He went pretty wide receiver, running back heavy at the core of the top. If you look at it, he doesn't take his QB till around 10 is that, or what is that? I can barely read.
Yeah, that's 10.
Blind.
That's 10-5.
Sorry about that.
Yep. No, that's 10-5. I like his team. So actually,
taking Jalen Hurts, who I like. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. He took a lot of risks just not taking anybody and just waiting it out, and I think he did good.
Yeah, I think he did well too. I mean, I'm a little bit lower on Hurts than most. I feel like he's just a glorified Cam Newton. But his rushing floor is what makes him viable in fantasy. I mean, he's gonna be producing regardless, and he can end up as a top 10. Excuse me. But I do like him grabbing Cousins. I love Cousins this year. I think he'll do as well as with guys like Justin Johnson or Jefferson and others. I think he's going to do fantastic. So that he has everything the way he needs it. The reports on Pollard. I know that you've heard them and them using him a lot more this season, so they can give Dak a breather a little bit, or not Dak, Ezekiel Elliott a breather a little bit. So I'm liking it. I mean, I like the team. I like Boyd. I think Boyd is a very underrated guy in a system, just like I think he's in a system just like the Cowboys. You got those three, strong wide receivers. I mean, no one's going to be drafting CJ Huzmazode and or no, not Huzmazode. Jesus, what's his name?
Higgins.
It might be.
Higgins is the other guy on there, and
no, I'm talking about their tight ends. No one's drafting them. They have
the tight end.
Moss there.
Oh, okay, from over there.
Yeah. So I mean that's my whole thing is that you have a team where it's basically your three wide receivers in Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Boyd, and that's your and Mixon out of the backfield. So I mean, I can see him being a really good option. He's always been that really good possession receiver with Higgins and Chase now being able to kind of spread out the ball a little bit. I've always liked Boyd. I like Claypool as a risky option. I keep hearing really good things about Devante Smith in camp. I'm still a little low on him. I just don't like him connected to Hurts. But that I understand the connection they had in college, so you can't go wrong there. I like McLaurin. I like DJ Moore a little more than someone like Anthony.
And that's why I like Hurts more this year. That's because he has that guy coming in that he already had connection with in college, and maybe it will keep him, more of a pocket passer a little bit. I like the fact that he runs. I picked him up last year, at that last end run when he had that stint. He had, I think, one bad game for me that kind of hurt a little bit, but it was fine. I mean, the rest of it was carrying me along just fine. I think he's going to have an excellent year this year. I'm comfortable with taking him, and I thought he took him in a very good spot. That's why I was pointing him out.
Yeah, I agree.
And like you're saying, taking Kirk Cousins late like that.
I mean, either way, I mean, if I'm looking at the board right, let me see. Yeah, he ended up picking up that if I'm looking at it right, he picked up the first QB of the 10th round before Lawrence, the Watson, Matt Ryan, all those guys. He picked them up before all those guys, and I'd be okay with that as well. I mean,
How do you feel about Matt Ryan going down so low though?
I think he's
Like,
being
is getting
disrespected.
disrespected with that, or what's up? Yeah, right.
He
I was
should be
gonna
up.
say, come on.
Guy throws for 5,000 yards every season. I think he should be above Brady. I have to check my rankings to see if I even have him that high, but I think that the disrespect is there because he lost Julio. So I think that without Julio there, people are thinking that he isn't going to be the way he was and getting those, 5,000 yards. And to be fair, that's true, but
Yeah,
they're
but he lost
replacing
Julio and he
him
gained a
with
tight end.
and they gained a guy that's twice the size. Well, not twice. I mean, he's a couple hundred. He's about 20 pounds heavier and 2 feet taller or 2 inches taller. So, I mean, he's just a bigger Julio Jones. So, if you want to
But
be
Paulie
okay,
scored more touchdowns than Julio Jones so far. Just want to point that out because Julio Jones is not a touchdown
maybe,
guy.
yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? Like,
except for the couple of seasons that he fell on the 1 yard line and had a 50-yard pass. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Julio. I've always liked Julio. He's my prototypical wide receiver that I look for. I mean, I like having a guy that's 6'3", 220 on the outside that you can always rely on. 6'3", 220. I mean, he's just somebody that I like to have, those little guys underneath, like, the Wes Welkers of, the teams. And, they're great to have for possession and, and can play that slot, real well. But I rather have two guys on the outside that are good, 6'3", 220 that can go up and grab it. And, I always aim for that. Yeah, Clay, my bad. Oh, don't worry about it, Clay. We really appreciate you coming out, and I really like your team regardless. And if it's only Watson that you got, don't worry about it.
Look at them boys. I have two devices going when I'm doing this. That's what's up, dude.
Hey, man, that's an OG right there. He knows. He knows. He's been doing it. Yeah, that's what Anthony just said.
Anthony said the same thing. I want to catch up real quick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep it interrupted.
No, keep going, man.
I said, don't mind me what I'm doing. Just keep your flow going, man. I want to go back one real quick, though. Anthony did have a little, how would you call it, a rebuttal to you or whatever. He's not, whoever's his at, it was about Gus. He's like, there it is. Disagree about Gus Edwards. He's more of a handcuff for me. No standalone value.
I agree.
That might be the case.
I'm just a little higher on him because he's on a really high rushing team, so he'll get the volume, and volume usually equals points. But I understand his point; it makes sense. Yeah. He is
for sure
handcuffed more than he is. But yeah, I agree with him.
Joe Mooney ready to eat some touchdowns this year?
I agree, Kane. I really do agree. I like Darnell Mooney. He is somebody that you should be really targeting at the end of drafts. Him and Russell Gage.
Doesn't matter. He got Jarwin, who's going to kill it this year. He feel like he's going to kill it this year. You know what? I felt bad, them boys, because I didn't get him in our Dynasty League. I was looking to get Jarwin, but then I don't know. I was just trying to fill out the team, I guess. It's a good draft. Appreciate having me. Oh, no, appreciate Shane. Yeah, for sure. Dalton Schultz, Jarwin. I'll call my shot now.
Interesting.
Hey, and I didn't want to say it. Hey, Shane came up with it, dude. But we'll see. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to say that though.
Hey, man, Saints, that's your team right there.
Number one in the 13th. Let's go.
Saints in the 13th.
Josh Carter, another great draft. I don't love you. Y'all that did it. The starters are strong. He's coming out the yellow. I like the clay. Nice. I'm telling you, I was on the clay.
I like both
clay
of
out
them.
Here. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's up. Might as well draft again.
Hey, man.
There you go, Aaron.
I don't blame you. I might set up another one.
Yeah.
Maybe we could.
Yeah, there is some good looking squads. We only have time for one. Fortunately, we I have life. We try to have lives outside of here. And what's funny is now, especially now that football is getting so much closer, everything that I do is involved around football now. The radio is on, ESPN Sport Talk or there. I don't watch YouTube videos unless it's bringing me some knowledge about this. I'm not reading anything unless it's about football related, because I want to be up on latest news and be able be able to give you guys some good insight. You know what I mean? Like not everybody has the time to look at all this stuff. So we're trying to break it down for you guys and get you guys some insights on some of these guys. Logan Thomas, a lot better tight ends taken around around him. To be honest, I dig it. I
agree.
Logan Thomas may or may not have that year. I think it helps him a lot having Fitzpatrick, but I'm not sure if he's going to finish with them. So see what happens. That's thanks squad low key being on slept on. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna. Hey, you're right. It's gonna be a rough one on Monday. I'm gonna grade these guys.
No, you guys are gonna have a rough one. I do like his team. I do like these Stanks team or that Stanks team. I really do. I'm really high on Chubb. I really think. Oh yeah, for sure, Shane. That you definitely have two big stacks there. I like it. I like to do that too. If I'm going with two QBs, I like having that. Those stacks right there. But yeah, Nick Chubb, I love. I think Mike Davis getting him that late is great. I love Stephon Diggs. He saved me my season last year. So best team by far is Bot. Who's Bot?
Is the Bot the auto pick?
Oh, it's the Autobot.
Look at that.
Al Duncan.
Henry, Hopkins, Kittle, Allen, Chase, Thomas. No, I'm going to disagree with you quickly.
I don't know, man. I don't disagree, but I get why he likes it. I like the Henry, Hopkins, Kittle, Allen, and then Chase. And if he was there to actually draft the team,
he was laughing about it. See, look, he's even just BSing about it. He's like, hello.
I mean, honestly, I don't know, man. I don't mind it. I like those guys. I like having those guys. I thought he got great value out of Robinson, getting him that late. Fournette's not a bad pick. Drake's not a bad pick. I like all of that. And, Thomas is the only one in that whole thing that I don't like. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, I mean, he would have probably picked, Robbie Anderson or, Deebo Samuel right there, or Chris Sutton or Curtis Sutton. I mean, I don't know. I think that it's not a bad team, but Michael Thomas is what makes it, tougher to look at. Oh, wow.
Huge Bucks fan. Always attending games in California. Great stream tonight, guys. Really? Peter North here.
Hey, man.
Excellent.
Interesting.
Hey, shout out to you, man. I appreciate it. I know who you are, even, which is kind of sad to say. Where are those Rasta teams? Where are those Rasta teams, right?
What's going on, Wilson?
We appreciate you guys being here. If you like what we're putting out, I want to reiterate, please like and subscribe. We're going to continue into the season. Mike's our newest addition here. He writes our articles. Obviously, he's on here with our channel. We appreciate all the effort that you're putting towards this. Nobody gets paid to do this, dude. We're doing this because we love fantasy football. Hopefully, one day we actually become analysts, and we're doing it for years to come. And with your guys' support, we'll stick around. And hopefully this season we can help somebody win a fantasy league. Honestly, that's the end goal, is to support the community of fantasy football, the people that watch us, and they're out there. Hopefully, we got some good tidbits, or at least some good constructive talk about the teams and what's going on, and especially as we go into preseason. Obviously these practices that are happening right now, a lot of news is coming out. People are getting injured. Things are happening. So it's always a fluid situations, as it is always with fantasy football. You got to stay on top of what's happening in the league, who the next man up is, and where we're all going from there. He's Dustin. All of the best wishes, fan. Thanks. Yeah, nice. Appreciate it. Good looking hockey. Nice, that's a funny name. I always cracked up with these names, man. Fantasy Boardroom on here. Appreciate. Shout out to them as well. A lot of good teams here. Yes, there is. There's quite a few teams, man. Hey, we got a shout out here. Hey, great job with both of you. Hey, we appreciate it, man. This is the first time he and I are here together. It was
hell yeah.
We were literally last second getting thumbnails up. Anthony was helping in the background, getting some of those things done, because I don't usually do that. I'm just show up and with my grades and just start talking. You know what I mean? But we had a good time, man. I don't want to cut it short, but Let me hold on. Let me check to see if we covered some of the all the topics that we were talking about here. Deshaun and the potential trade with Philly. Again, we kind of touched bases on that. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be traded to Philly. If he does, is he going to be, starting right away? Is he going to take maybe some reps
Who's
away?
coming back to Philly?
Urtz. I don't see why they would do that. Yeah. Oh, Deshaun.
You're
It's the
talking
whole
about.
talk is Deshaun being traded to Philly.
Oh, that thing. I honestly, I mean, there was something that came out with. I think it was one of the
It's
guys
Wilson
on
27.
ESPN. I forgot who. Yeah. Oh no, I knew it was Wilson. That's why I was saying hi to him.
I forget, bro.
I've been talking to him all week. But yeah, I mean, I think they said that he said that he was 90% going there, and I mean, if you're having someone that confident at 90% saying that Watson's going to be in Philly, that's pretty huge. I mean, even with everything going on with him, I mean, I think he had 10 other allegations put out against him, which I understand. Any allegation is tough, but at the same time, hopefully this all works out for him. But at the end of the day, we can't say anything until we know more about this, scenario. He could be thrown on, but the commissioner's, on that commissioner exempt list, but he's not. I think he came out already and said that that's not going to happen right now. They don't have enough stuff. He's going to be. I think everything's pushed to February. So I think he's playing. I mean, if he chooses to hold out and not play or do things half-assed and doing things behind the scenes where
we know he doesn't want to play
really
for Houston. He wanted to be traded away.
I agree.
So again, I go back to the fact that if he does play with another team, how effective is he going to be? Because he's going to be in a new system, new players, new people around him. And I believe that quarterbacks and wide receivers need to be in sync or have that connection where the timing, when they're running their routes, when they're turning to look for the ball, that kind of type thing takes a while. And I don't think he's going to be as good as he was, and he has been. Obviously he's been on fire. That's why people are still looking to draft him, although he has all these issues. But I think that there's just that cloud over him still, even if he goes to a different team.
I agree. And, I'm looking right here and I'm trying to remember who the head coach is. And I see that it's Nick Sirianni. And I'm trying to remember if Sirianni was the head coach.
Appreciate that.
I'm wondering if he was the head coach, but I think he was in Alabama, if I remember right. But either way, I think that he could still possibly do well. But you're right. You need that chemistry when you go to a new system, and hopefully he can get that chemistry. We'll see how that happens, but he's still a top guy. You can't. His talent is unlike anybody else's that I've seen.
Undeniable, right? Undeniable. Good talent.
Hey man,
let's change the subject to Michael Carter running with the ones.
Hey, no,
sorry,
fair.
I don't think you're ready for
that. No, all I was going to say is if you're throwing the ball and getting a touchdown with your, some guy grabbing your face and poking you in the eye and you're still able to do that, God, like that's freaking awesome. I'm sorry. I think he's a really top, caliber guy when it comes to QB in the NFL. Person, we don't know yet. But Michael Carter as running with the ones, I mean, I like it. I mean, he's still on the Jets offense. They finally signed their Zach Wilson to, a deal, which the NFL, I mean, this is a whole other subject, but the NFL has to figure out what to do with that second and third spot when it comes to, money and all that stuff. Everyone every year seems to have some type of, problem at the second or third spot. I remember Nick Bosa. I remember Ezekiel Elliott had it when he was drafted that high. A few other guys that I've noticed throughout the year, the last few years that have had that really hard time getting a contract, during training camp, and not being able to be a part of it and stuff. So they got to figure that out. Michael Carter, sure. I've only heard wonderful things about. He's on a team that has very little. I mean, Tevin Coleman is okay. Ty Johnson is all right. you have a couple of you don't really have much behind them, and you drafted the guy to be your guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, yeah.
you built your lineup. You have your Mekhi Becton on the left. You have they drafted a lineman during the draft. I forgot who it was off the top of my head, but honestly, I really think that he could do well if they push that. I'm guessing that Saleh is thinking the same thing that he did in San Francisco: run the ball, good defense. His defense, I don't think, can hold up to it. So we'll see how that goes. I like C.J. Mosley, Avery Williamson, Patrick Zalu, or I forgot. I can't say his name, so I'm gonna just butcher it anyway. But
forgive us for that.
Huh?
Forgive us for that. We can't name everybody's name properly.
Oh, I can't even do it. But
especially when they start changing their names from Kelsey to Kels.
Fair point. But I think that their front line is okay, and their secondary is slowly developing. I like Marcus May in the back, but with his contract stuff and being tagged, and we'll see how that goes. But either way, I like Carter. But if I like where Nye did it, where he's his the running back 4, and he's not your running back 1.
Yeah.
If you're going 0 RB and getting Carter
you're not putting all your eggs in that basket.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that he even got Josh Jacobs as his RB3 over there.
I agree. I mean, I like this team. I like the setup. I'm looking at his team. I like Kupp. I like Thielen.
I really like Ryan Tannehill where he got him.
Oh, I love Tannehill going that late. You kidding me? Every draft that I do, I try to grab Tannehill that late. It's just someone I look for. Mike Williams really late. I love Marvin Jones and McKissick down at the bottom. Picking up Mr. Irrelevant with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, all those things. I really do like this team. In general. So I mean, I'm a little higher on Joe Mixon than you guys. I hear you guys talking about him every Monday and Wednesdays when you guys do the grading shows, and I'm so much higher on him. I really think that he has something that can be really well.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with something, Dustin, for sure.
Oh yeah,
this is a pretty decent. This is really good draft. There's a lot of good teams on here. It's going to be very down to nitpicking some things for these guys. And whichever guy gets into the league, he's definitely going to have a good draft in the actual, listener league. So, wow, we got we got to work to, work ahead of us here. You're going to have
to roll your sleeves
up. Try to just figure it out. Yeah, for sure. We're going to have to get to work on this one. Definitely. On that note, I think I forgot to even do the intro in the beginning. So we're going to do the intro as the outro. We appreciate you guys watching. Thank you for being with us. Please do like and subscribe. We'll be back. What are we back? Wednesday or Monday? No, we're back Monday. Today's Monday. Friday. I'm trying to figure out what day I'm on. Because I'm not usually on here on Friday, so it's throwing me off. I'm like, what day are we on? Also, I was out this week. I had a fly to Chicago and back, and work has been rough. Just trying to catch up on everything. It's been crazy. Thanks again for watching. Here's the intro, outro, and
nice.
I think we did good. I'm gonna end this.